Buenos dias. I am humbled to be here today because I have a platform to give a voice to the voiceless members of our community, undocumented immigrants. As an immigration attorney and an asylee myself, I can tell you that undocumented immigrants are brave human beings who at some point in their lives left everything behind. They left their homes, their families, and their friends to embark on a treacherous journey to the United States, either because they were fleeing persecution, violence, or because they wanted a little piece of the American dream. Not only are undocumented immigrants brave, but they're also an integral part of our community and our state. In Virginia, 12.3% of the population is estimated to be foreign-born. This amounts to over 1 million people. Of these foreign-born community members, more than half are naturalized citizens, like myself, while the rest are non-citizens. Of the non-citizens, about 300,000 are undocumented, or were, in 2014 in Virginia. These 300,000 undocumented immigrants form parts of our families, our schools, our workforce, and our communities. There are hundreds of mixed status families in the state of Virginia, where some family members are U.S. citizens and others are undocumented. Yet in the state of Virginia, undocumented immigrants cannot obtain a driver's license, and undocumented students cannot obtain in-state tuition to go to school, to go to university. Parents have to drive to go to work to feed their children, and when they do, often they are stopped for minor traffic violations, and when that happens, they are transferred or referred to ICE, and the deportation machine starts. They are often incarcerated, and this causes a lot of problems, but among them, trauma for the children who suffer family separation. I was an undocumented student who obtained lots of scholarships, but I also worked 3 jobs while going to college full-time. I lived for over a decade with fear and anxiety because of my undocumented status. I don't want anybody to live like that anymore. We are facing challenging times, and during challenging times, it is easier to stay neutral, to look away, to do nothing. But history will be our witness. History will be our witness to how we treated the most vulnerable in our community and in our state. I believe that elected officials should do the right thing, even when it's challenging. I believe that every human being should count, and that undocumented immigrants' rights, human and civil rights, should be protected. Please join me in welcoming and energizing these candidates so that they can protect the human and civil rights of undocumented immigrants and our immigrant community as a whole. I will start with Elizabeth Guzman, who is an immigrant herself. Elizabeth says, as an immigrant to this country, I want to ensure that diversity is something that is never disrespected in our Commonwealth. Delegate Krizek, House District 44. He states, my passion is for helping people and advocating for those who cannot advocate for themselves. Delegate Plum, House District 36. Ken believes we must insist that the youngest and the most vulnerable among us have an opportunity to succeed, even in our most poorest communities, or seeking asylum for their safety among us. And our new candidate, let's give him some energy! Qasim Rashid! Qasim will work to protect the rights of immigrants while ensuring a documented path to citizenship. Delegate Ibrahim Samara was not able to join us today, but he is a fighter for intersectional justice. Ibrahim will pay special attention to protect the most vulnerable racial, ethnic, sexual identity, and religious groups. Senator Scott Sorwell, Senate District 36. also not able to join us today, but Scott practices law and has dedicated his career to fighting for Northern Virginia fair share, protecting consumers and preserving our environment for future generations. And last but not least, Kevin Washington, House District 97. Kevin states, as delegate, I will support and defend the rights of disenfranchised communities. No Virginian should be afraid of discrimination. And with this, I want you to join me to say that we can do this. We can fight for the rights of the most vulnerable. Sí se puede. Can you repeat